Imagine opening your textbook, flipping to a long, terrifying chapter, and instead of feeling stressed or overwhelmed, you actually smile because you know you can memorize the entire thing faster than 99% of students. Not because you're a genius, not because you studied your whole life, but because you understand how the brain works. Today, I'm going to show you how to memorize any chapter so fast it honestly feels illegal. And if you use this consistently, you will become a top 1% student. Let's start. Part 1. Why most students can't memorize. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Most students don't struggle because the chapter is hard. They struggle because their method is wrong. They sit for hours reading, rereading, highlighting, hoping something magically sticks. But the brain doesn't remember information that's just passively absorbed. It remembers what it interacts with. Your brain is not a storage unit. It's a survival machine. It keeps only what seems important. So if you want to memorize a chapter fast, you need to convince your brain that the chapter matters. That's exactly what the next steps will do. Part 2. Step 1. The 2-minute preview, the cheat code. Before you study anything, you must do a 2-minute preview. It's small, but it changes everything. Here's all you do. Read the chapter title, scan all the headings and subheadings, look at the bold words, look at the diagrams, look at the summary if there is one. Why is this so powerful? Because your brain has a map. It knows what territory it's entering, and once you create a mental map, memorizing becomes 3 times faster because your brain isn't confused anymore. It's like giving your mind GPS before a long trip. Part 3. Step 2. Break it into chunks, the ultimate student method. Your brain memorizes chunks, not paragraphs. If you try to memorize a full chapter at once, you overwhelm your working memory. But if you break it into 3 to 5 chunks, each chunk becomes surprisingly easy. So do this. Divide the chapter into sections based on the headings you previewed. Now you're no longer memorizing a 20-page nightmare, you're learning 4 to 5 small, clear pieces. This is the exact method top students use without telling anyone. Part 4. Step 3. The 30-second story method. This is where memorization becomes fun. For each chunk, you create a 30-second mini-story connecting all the key points into a simple narrative. Why does this work? Because your brain remembers stories, not plain facts. For example, if your chapter is about the water cycle, instead of memorizing evaporation, condensation, precipitation, collection, create a story like the sun heated the water until it escaped into the sky, turned into clouds, cried as rain, and gathered back into lakes. Boom. You will never forget it. You don't need to be creative. Just make simple explanations that link ideas together. This is what gives you that illegal advantage over other students. Part 5. Step 4. Write without looking, the top student secret. This is the secret that separates average students from top 1% students. After you study a chunk, take a blank page and write down everything you remember without looking at the textbook. Most students avoid this step because it feels uncomfortable, but that's exactly why it works. You are forcing your brain to retrieve information, and retrieval is 5 times stronger than reading. Even if you forget half of it, good. That's the point. Every time you struggle to recall something, the memory gets stronger. Do this after each chunk, and you will memorize the chapter insanely fast. Part 6. Teach it like you're a YouTuber. Yes, literally pretend. Explain the entire chunk out loud as if your viewers rely on you to understand it. Teaching is the single most powerful learning technique because you simplify the concept, you identify gaps in understanding, you reinforce the memory through active recall, and you engage multiple senses: voice, hearing, thinking. If you feel shy, teach your pillow, teach your wall, teach your imaginary subscribers. Just teach. Do this for each chunk and your memorization skyrockets. Part 7. The 10-5-2 review system. This is the system that locks the chapter into your long-term memory without hours of revision. After learning the chapter, review it at 10 minutes, 5 hours, 2 days. Why these intervals? because they follow the brain's natural forgetting curve. Reviewing at the perfect moment is the difference between remembering for one day or remembering for life. This is how medical students, IAS toppers, Ivy League students, and Olympiad champions study. They don't revise more, they revise smarter. Part 8. Turning this into a superpower. Once you master these steps, memorizing a chapter becomes predictable, fast, stress-free, and honestly addictive. The first time you use this method, you'll notice the difference immediately, but the 10th time you use it, you'll feel unstoppable. Imagine preparing for exams without panic. Imagine understanding faster than your classmates. Imagine the confidence of walking into any test and knowing you're ready. That's the power of mastering your memory. Final motivation. You can become top 1%. Top students are not born. They are built through habits, systems, and smart techniques. Learning is not about talent, it's about method. And now you have the method. If you apply these 6 steps every time you study a chapter, preview, chunk, create stories, write without looking, teach, and review at 10-5-2, you will memorize faster than 99% of students around you. Not because you're cheating, not because you're gifted, but because you finally understand how your brain works. If this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which chapter you're going to memorize next. And remember, your brain is more powerful than you think. You just need to use it the right way. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next video.